The content that matters if you want to show up on AI is consistency. AI programs like ChatGPT and Perplexity, they are pattern recognition programs. So the more you can say, we serve a the best mushroom Swiss burger in Northwest Arkansas, in your copy or in your content, the better.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Stupid Simple Marketing Podcast. I'm Brad Alexander here today again with my awesome co-host, Mr. Bryan Fittin.
Hello, hello.
And we are back with another episode with our friend Cari Kaufman.
Howdy.
And today we are going to talk about AI search. Yes, so much fun, right? Last time we talked with you about SEO on Google and those kind of things, but as some of us know, if you're listening to this, and we've been talking, like AI search is not necessarily the same thing as Google search. A lot of us think they're the same thing, but if you're going to ChatGPT, you're going to Claude, if you're going to Perplexity, or you're going to whatever else it is that you use, there's the way it finds information and delivers it. I know it's different, which is a cool ground to be able to begin playing in, but also it's like, are you kidding me? Like now we got something else to figure out, right? And so, as marketing continued to expand and like, I thought I was just doing this, now I'm doing 75 things. We thought we'd just want to talk to you about that because I know it's something that you've been helping people with and thinking through. And so I guess just talk us through a little bit of that. Like how there's a shift in how people are searching for stuff, right? Than the way they used to.
Right.
And so let's talk a little bit about that first before we get into like, what do you do in ChatGPT to rank in ChatGPT versus Google or whatever? So just like how is the way people are searching changed even in this last 18 months as you've been following it and trying to help people through it?
It's been an evolution, right? So like probably 5 years ago, most people searched by typing in something to a Google bar that was a couple of words, maybe. Restaurant, burger, Northwest Arkansas, something like that. Now, 2 years ago, they shifted. That shifted to questions. Tell me what is the best burger restaurant in Northwest Arkansas? Like, right, we started to talk, if you will, to Google. And then now people are not even going to Google, they're going to ChatGPT and asking for the top 5 burger restaurants in Northwest Arkansas, right? So it has fundamentally changed. I will say there's a lot of questions in the industry about how fundamentally it's changed. Like the percentage wise, there's still 7 billion people searching on Google every day. So like,
it's not like you just turn the power off,
radically different? Should we completely change our content strategy? What do we think about all of that? I am not an alarmist when it comes to that. I do feel like good, solid SEO and content strategy will still get you where you need to go in a lot of places. But yeah, folks have changed the way they're looking at things. They change where they go to look for things. And they've changed how they respond to the search when they get it, right? So one of the biggest problems there is that like most people were when they went looking for something on Google, they would click through and go into whatever it was that was surfaced.
Okay.
ChatGPT, you don't really do that because you ask for the top 5 burger restaurants. It gives you a bunch of them. And then you might ask, why is it better? Or where do they have gluten-free buns? And you're staying on platform rather than going and looking at that resource.
Okay.
Or share with me the menu, which it will do. Right. So, it's changed now what your content needs to do if you're looking to show up on AI. And we could talk about whether or not that's the right choice, which is a whole question.
Okay. I guess, thanks. That's a great answer. A lot to expand on that some more, then as you're working with businesses to try to sort this out or figure out in your content strategy that's going to show up in both places, hopefully, does it seem like people are confused about AI search? Like, are they making assumptions about things about, I'm assuming is like, well, Google and AI are the same. Like, so we'll just need to do the things the same way.
Which it is trying to be. Seems like.
Yeah.
When you're searching, it's like, well, here's the AI results.
Google is giving you that. Yeah. It's like, here's the AI summary of all the things, which can be sufficient. But yeah, okay. But you can speak to that. Where's the confusion about AI search?
So there are three things there, that three categories of types of search. So there's the old traditional Google, right? The non-AI generative mode, that really is still searching for the EEAT on your website, the authority, you need to establish credibility with them. They're still looking the old way, if you will, the SEO way.
You talked about in the previous episode. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to that, because there's great foundational things that you need to do. If you're a restaurant, you should definitely have eat here.
Right? Exactly.
Somewhere in your SEO.
100%.
So,
right.
Yeah. So like there is that piece, like the old Google way is still out there.
Google,
right? And people are still using that to search.
Sure.
That is the most performance-oriented search, because people are most likely to click through the ranked websites based on those search foundings. Then there's Google AI, like the generative AI search that you're starting to get on a lot, but you can opt into, right? It's not everywhere yet. There's that Google AI actually functions differently than ChatGPT or a open source AI type of function. So then there's that type of AI. It's looking for different things. It's there's query fan out there. There's a lot of other things that are happening in that Google search, that generative AI search, that actually for a content writer is comforting, because now it means I have a very structured way to approach my content. So we can talk about that too. And then there's ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all of those people. So there's three different types of search happening. They operate in three different types of ways, and each one of them is really for a different type of client, right? I would not, in fact, we counsel most of our clients not to worry about ranking in AI search, because we know now from studies that have been done that it will pull different things every single time it pulls. You have a less
you
than
could ask the same question
1 in 1,000 chance to show up ranked the same on an additional on the same search. Less than 1 in 1,000. And if you're interested, I have a great study done by Spark Toro that blew my mind about what's showing up in that search. So what I would say is that chat search is very subjective, and you might not be getting the top 5 burger places in Northwest Arkansas. You're getting 5 burger places in Northwest Arkansas, and there's a whole algorithm around which ones it decides to pull. That is
a conspiracy.
Well, and it's most likely tied to how your history with
ChatGPT has been, or with this. Okay,
it serves you what it thinks you want.
Okay,
yeah. Which that has happened to me too. Just doing general research for like podcasts, and it was interesting because when I first heard about that, like it is serving you they think it thinks you want. And so and they, came out, I was like, hey, you should ask it where it's getting all this information. And so I would dive deeper and deeper and deeper, because it was like pushing me away, like, oh, well, this is because of X, Y, and Z. And I was like, that's not really the answer. And so for me, it was like, oh, because you have an affinity for these types of podcasts, that's why I'm showing you these. And I was like, oh, but that's not true ranking of the top 5 podcasts or the top 5 restaurants. It was like, well, you just like burgers. And so that's why we said, these are the burgers that you should go. So it may not even be the best. And so it is interesting. I will say from a content standpoint, as a business, is there specific types of content we should be creating to help. Just even, if somebody does like a specific type of burger, it's like, cool, we're going to talk about the mushroom Swiss burger, more to be able to show up in those searches. Does it matter?
It's a great question.
Thank you.
You're so smart for asking that question.
You're so smart.
Yeah.
What I would say is that the content that matters, if you want to show up on AI, is consistency. Because AI, I don't know what to call it, AI programs like ChatGPT and Perplexity, they are pattern recognition programs. So the more you can say, we serve a mushroom Swiss burger, the best mushroom Swiss burger in Northwest Arkansas, in your copy or in your content, the better. Now, the caveat to that is everybody wants to show up on an AI search, and I don't quite understand that, quite frankly, because it's not performative. So if you are looking to win performance, if you're looking to get more people to your website, you're looking to get more people to click buy now here, or you're looking to get more people to take a specific action for your brand, to convert, if you will, don't care about AI rankings, because people who search for things on AI don't leave that platform. They're not clicking through.
Yeah.
And it's very unlikely that they're going to take an action that you want them to take to get there. Now, if you're looking to expand your brand awareness, if you're looking to tell people who you are and what you do, if you're trying to get more people aware of your brand, that's when it matters. But it also matters across your platforms, right?
Yeah.
So like specifically ChatGPT and Perplexity both pull from Reddit more than any other platform out there. Google AI pulls from YouTube more than any other platform out there. So like what I would suggest is knowing your audience well enough to know where they consume and how they consume information, and then creating a strategy, a content strategy that is based around that, rather than backwards engineering a ranking on ChatGPT that might not get you anywhere.
Yeah.
That makes me think about even how I use search in general. In my own experience with it, whether it's in an AI platform or I just go to Google and ask a question or whatever else. And there's definitely, and you guys can fight with me on like, this is how you do it, but this is just a personalized example of like, sometimes I just need some information. And I'm like, I'm about to cook some bratwurst. I'm using the oven instead of the grill. And I'm like, okay, I think 400 degrees is right. And I'll open Google and just say, how long should I cook bratwurst at 400 degrees? And sorry, recipe bloggers, but I don't want to go and read the history of bratwursts and the best crisping mechanisms just to scroll through the ads. I understand it's how you make money, but I'm looking for just to answer that question. And so Google will generate the AI summary response, which most of the time I think is accurate. And so I'm like, oh, okay, great. That's 30 minutes or whatever. Okay, cool. That's all I wanted to know. I'm not looking to go buy bratwurst. I'm not looking to elevate my bratwurst. I'm not looking to host a party around a bratwurst. I'm just trying to figure out how to cook it, right? Same thing with AI, like ChatGPT. I might be brainstorming or trying to figure out if it's local or not local. I'm just trying to get some things that maybe I haven't thought about before. And I get the list there, and that immediately will tell me, it helps lead to me to be more curious, okay? But so if I'm on chat or Google and I'm looking for whatever kind of restaurants, I've got a date night with my wife, we're trying to plan this out, it's going to give me a list. I still go to that. I'm going to click on it, look at the restaurant website, maybe go to the Google listing. I'm going to look at the menu. I'm going to look at the reviews. It's just helping me get there a little faster, but I'm still clicking through to the things that really matter for as a purchaser that make a difference. Like I'm not going to make a buying decision based on the 3 sentences that ChatGPT told me about it, but or Google, right? But it will help me differentiate. And I think even to your point about like AI just scraping what it scrapes based on your preferences versus what shows up on Google. If I were to be like, hey, I'm looking for the best, quiet, romantic steak restaurants in Northwest Arkansas, ChatGPT will give me some. Then I go answer the same question in Google, and there's going to be lists of other writers or whatever else that come up, but it's not, there's sometimes the same things will show up, but sometimes they don't. But like ChatGPT told me this one, I go to Google, look it up, they've got like 5 reviews versus one it didn't tell me that's like the top ranked, top reviews. I'm like, okay, there's still a human behind it that's not stupid. Most of the time, I hope, so this is, I'm stupid, he's simple, right? In this podcast, but like most of the time I got a thinking brain. And so I think that we forget that as marketers. We got to make sure that otherwise they're going to be fooled. I'm like, just think about how you use it. Yeah. You're just trying to get some filtering quickly. But then if you're really trying to find answers or make a purchasing decision, you're going to click through and do a little bit more research, not just like, well, ChatGPT said I should buy this, so I'm buying it. I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't know if you guys do that. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't think that's happening for everybody.
True. Well, and I think that what that indicates is that our content still has to serve the people. Right. Right. Like, and I think we get so wrapped around the axle around how am I going to rank? And I need to rank. I need to rank. And it's important. I'm not going to say it's not important, especially if you're trying to use a digital means to get your name out there. But at the end of the day, it's got to answer the questions of your people. Like the people are the ones who are making the decisions, not the bots. And I think it's a really important distinction.
Yeah. Yeah. I would ask from a tactical standpoint, what is something along the lines of like the most basic, like, we talked about websites last time, but, we on our side we help businesses build authority through video. We try to make it as simple as possible. This is what you're getting. This is how we do it. Is there should I have my profile set up for AI search? Is it across different platforms? You talked about Reddit. So it's like, I need to also say, hey, we help businesses build authority through video on Reddit, on our website, on Facebook, on, all of the platforms. So that way, all of the AI goes out there and it's like, oh, they help businesses build authority through video. So that way it just kind of makes it simple. Is that a concept? Is that something that we should be doing as businesses?
I think yes. Like your bio there was a time when we would get creative with the bios, right? Yeah. And the profiles on
our MySpace pages. So.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Right? But that is true. Yes, it's all indexed now and it's all indexed together. So like core elements to your brand story should remain constant throughout the different platforms. Now, it also matters where your audience is consuming that content, like knowing your audience well. Like it's not enough to know that I serve women ages 35 to 45 who like to read Cosmo magazine. That's not enough anymore. Like you need to know where they're showing up. What are the podcasts they're listening to? What kinds are they on YouTube? Where do they show up and consume information so that you can tailor that information to them? Yeah. So that's a piece of it. But yeah, the more consistent you can stay, especially with the brand elements of your story, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it also goes back to what we said earlier, which is you've got to be human in your content and how you're talking. But also too, like realizing we're all individuals and we don't just listen to one type of podcast. It's like, I'm not just listening to marketing podcasts. Like I listen to multiple types and news and comedy and some other things, and realizing that your competition is not just the burger place down the street. Your competition is all food. I think there was like a marketer from Anheuser-Busch that said that. They're like, who's your biggest competition? Is it this other beer company? He's like, my competition is water. Right. Like that because we're a whole person and we have all kinds of different things. And so being able to say in search, like, I want to be the best, but I'm also talking to a human that I know. They're looking for burgers. I have to convince them that we're the best burger because my competition is tacos. Like, and understanding that too of like why we are the best, why you should come to us. And so within that space, I guess my question is, and this is probably more conversational, but what is like, we talk about like tactical things, but what is like the one thing that as a marketer we can do this week that we can actually show up, I always say on Monday, sit down, like how can I influence our philosophy or thought process around, okay, we're creating content in a more human way, but it also is serving our audience and it's serving AI in that sense. Like, what's something that we can do in that space? Sorry.
I think the one thing that I would tell people is structure your information. And that serves two purposes. One, it serves your audience because it makes it clear and it makes it easy to digest, right? And I think especially, I'm a copywriter. I love to have like really esoteric, clever headlines. Like I love it when someone's like, "Oh, that's hilarious," but they have no idea what I do, right? That's great. It's great marketing. But like being really, really clear in your structure around your content, even if it's your Instagram content, your videos and those kinds of things, knowing that there is like a flow through that content that makes sense will help.
Yeah.
Structured data in general is what AI uses, particularly Google AI, but also ChatGPT and Perplexity. That's what those bots use to find what you're doing and to understand. That's where that concept of I need to have the best answer for this question right here. So someone could query just that and get that little snippet of information. That's where it comes from. But the easy way to do that is to structure your content so that it's flowing that way naturally. So like if you're going to talk about the best burger in Northwest Arkansas, maybe you have a blog. Let's talk about a blog because it's easiest, right? Maybe you have a blog about the different sauces on the burgers and why that changes the flavor profile of the beef. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. Can you tell I'm a content marketer? Yes. So like you could start with, well, the foundation is your bun and you need this bun and it needs to be buttered. And this is why we butter the buns before we toast the buns. And this is why people prefer toasted buns. Like you can now go down the rabbit trail of all these different things. As long as that data is structured into sections, it helps Google be able to find and chat be able to find those nuggets of information that it's going to pull into a query.
Yeah, which it's also, I mean, that's going deeper in your authority as well, that you know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And there's a little bit of that passion behind it too. My wife always tells me when somebody starts talking about content marketing or podcasting or whatever it is, I get really passionate and she's like, and then you go over people's heads. And you're just like, you lose them in the conversation. I'm like, oh, okay. But I mean, that's good from an AI search where, hey, we want to talk about the process because we care about the process. And all of a sudden you get separated as an expert, as an authority in that space. And so just like a dinner conversation, that's exactly what happens is people are like, oh, this guy really loves burgers.
Yeah, he knows.
Bratwurst,
Hey, it just depends on what you're Google searching.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me too, and that there's a guy named Marcus Sheridan, and he wrote a book. You guys are familiar, I think, called "They Ask You Answer," which is like a baseline of just like every question your customers have ever asked you, you write a thorough answer to it, and and that was a part of that. Now he has a second iteration. It's called Endless Customers. And he combines those same ideas with like how you also should translate some of that into video to complement it as well. But it's basically just trying to help people get thorough answers to questions that they're looking at. And it demonstrates your expertise. It shows your humanity. It shows your process. And there's like, I can't remember what the questions are, but it's like, how does it work? How much does it cost? How's it going to inconvenience me? There's like kind of a baseline of like, what's the process look like? And he's like, those are all 4 category types that you could just be exhaustive on. And with some of our clients, I've seen that work. Like I've talked about them before. I have a landscaping construction company, and we started writing some of their content like that. And it's like he said, we just got our first customer that found us on ChatGPT. I was like, that's awesome, But it's just like so people that are trying to think through a purchasing decision. You want to go in and like they have all these questions that are answered. It's like I don't have to talk to a sales guy first, And so, but even now, I'm thinking through the burger side of it. Like if you're talking about like what makes a good burger and how you put it together and how you construct it, and all these things, that's obviously going to help the online world find that out, but then whoever the person is watching that video or reading that post or whatever it is, it's like, I mean, my mouth's watering thinking about it. You know, you're like, that sounds like a good burger. You know, like buttery toasted buns and, you know, salt and pepper mix. Yeah. So anyway, all right, well, just to wrap it up, you know, with that, thanks for just kind of the one thing about the structure. That's kind of, I love that, super helpful.
Yeah.
It's been great to think through this and even differentiating between just regular Google search versus AI search. And so, Cari, if somebody wanted to say, hey, I like her, I like what she's offering, I might be interested in getting her to help, how would they find you?
You can find us at storytellerwordsmith.com. That's our website. You can find me, Cari Kaufman, on LinkedIn. I love to connect with folks there. But yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, thanks guys for listening. Thanks for hanging out. We're trying to keep things stupid simple around here. And so hopefully this has made AI search a little bit more accessible than it was before, as big as it is. And we will see you guys next time.